back here on the Cover 3 podcast and fired up to be joined by Penn State offensive lineman Nick Dawkins. Nick, what a great time to be part of the Penn State football program. You know, the last couple of years, you're stacking wins. You get to the playoff. You get a couple playoff wins under your belt. You are one of many who came back to the program this year and have been a part of that success. What's been the message to the whole locker room from the leadership about what you can accomplish this season?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is this is a new team. This isn't the same team from last year. You know what I mean? And it's remaining humble, and obviously all the external stuff is great, the acknowledgement and all that. But, you know, it's all about us. It's all about what we think of each other and the work that we have to put in now. So this team hasn't won anything yet. The last teams they did, this is a new team. We have a lot to prove.
Second year of this new offense obviously has a lot of run action as a lineman you probably enjoy. What are some of the things you all can do in year two that maybe you couldn't do in year one with this scheme?
Yeah, I think with us and how we attack teams and the amount of distortion that we cause for opposing defenses, like you talked about pass, like play action pass and such like that, but I think it's incorporating other guys in the backfield as well. I think you can get some defensive guys and let them have about, and I think and also with the option game too, I think you can add other options and pitch keys and such like that and add other guys and create some more motions and stuff like that. It's tricky for defenses, but, you know, for O-line guys, you know, look in the gap.
The last two national champions, Michigan and Ohio State, have had some similarities to those teams. One of them is this common theme of you see guys that are, you know, seasoned veterans who decide to come back and do something special. Both your running backs decide to come back. They want to do something special. You guys have a lot of returning players like yourself and Drew. Have you guys talked about that, like this season, like trying to bump it up to that next level and like in building up this national championship run, or do you try to like keep your goals in check 1 week at a time? How are you guys approaching this season?
Yeah, I think that's something that when you came back, like when we all decided to come back, that was inherently assumed. You know, we didn't come back to remain the same. You know, when you come back to like elevate your game from an individual standpoint and from a team perspective as well. And, you know, we had a lot of deep conversation after the Orange Bowl and such like that about, you know, what we wanted for the team, what we wanted for each other. And it all just correlated to us all coming back. And I think all of, you know, what we want to accomplish and everything is self-explanatory in our notion to come back.
Take us inside the stadium for that home playoff game. What was that atmosphere like? SMU in town and sort of you know, what did it feel like? Because we had never seen you know, a home college football playoff game, and that from the outside, I didn't get a chance to go myself. It looked like something special. Did you feel it on the field?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what I felt on the field was cold. It was cold, man. And, you know, I mean, people talk about SMU, like, dealing with the cold. Man, it was cold for us, too. And we lived there, you know what I mean? So, firstly, it was freezing, and our fans did not care. They do not care because, you know, they're supporting us. And it was loud and cold, which, you know, for the opposing team, very sorry, but not sorry. It's just the element that we you know, grow to play in. It's a competitive advantage, you know, when you're able to play in games like that. And, you know, they really are another element to opposing offenses. You have to prepare for crowd noise. It's stuff that you have to put into your game plan, into your practice plan. You know, you have to get loud, stadium noise and such like that. So it definitely, you felt it. You felt all of, you know, the jubilation from all the fans and such.
Taking it back to the Orange Bowl, it was a great game overall. Obviously didn't get the result that you all wanted. No catches for receivers in that game. If Penn State takes the next step this year, they got to have, you know, somebody really be stepping up at receiver. We got our fantasy draft coming up, so we kind of need to know this too. Who's the guy we need to pick at Penn State for receiver this year?
Who's the guy you need to pick? Honestly, we have a bunch of guys you need to pick. A lot of work, and all kudos to, you know, Coach Higgins and to the leaders in that wide receiver room. We went in the portal and got some great guys. I think of Kyron Hudson. I think of Trevor Penn. I think of Vontae. Like, these guys came in ready to work. They came in hungry, and they came in leaders too. All those guys, respectively, at their previous institutions, were dogs and alpha guys in there, and you see them all culminating into what it needs to be done. I think the wide receiver room took that very personal from last year, and the work that they put in, I think it's going to be very exciting for our offense to be able to, you know, really air it out with these guys.
There's always a ton of pressure being a quarterback at Penn State. What's your quarterback like? What's Drew Aller like in the huddle and off the field?
I said this before. He's cool as a cucumber, man. You would never know. I couldn't imagine not being able to walk around school, be able to walk around certain places, and people recognize you immediately. You know, they look at me like he's a big fat dude, but they look at him like, here's our quarterback. You know, here's our guy. And there's so many expectations that people place on him from the outside world. Could you imagine what he puts on himself internally? And he's a natural competitor. He's a guy who loves to compete. So, but you know, on the outside end, he's poker face, calm, cool, collected, got that smile. And he's ready to go. So, you know, I love blocking for him and protecting him because he's a gamer.
But what can we grill him on? Because we're going to get to talk to him, too. Like, what's something that we can we can really
What can you grill him on? I feel like his palate of food is off. I mean, he's like a burger and chicken tender guy. I think he needs to, like, broaden his horizons when it comes to his palate, what he's putting in his body. Like, it's pretty bland, maybe. Ask him about some seasonings. What is he seasoning? He's recently started trying to cook for himself and stuff like that, getting his body right. He looks good. He's lean. But, you know, grill him on some seasoning. What's he throwing on his food? You know what I mean? It's just salt and pepper. Like, what are you eating? You know
Does he take you guys out? Does he take good care of you?
Yeah, he does. He takes good care of us. And we actually just got the plan going now for, you know, getting our list of restaurants that we're going to be eating out after the restaurants. So, you know, like to, you know, we're going to block for him, protect him. He's going to take care of us a little bit too.
You guys lost Abdul Carter to the draft. Who's the guy you had to block in the spring ball? We're like, all right, we're going to be okay because this guy's nasty.
Deny Dennis Sutton. And people do not talk about Zariah Fisher enough. He is an animal, and he has a bag that is versatile. I mean, there's one thing when you have a speed rusher. There's another thing we have a power rusher. When you have a speed with a combination of power like Zariah has, he can go inside on you. He has a great bull rush, and then he can get outside, and he's great with his hands. So that's somebody to really be, if you're going to try Keon Deny, cool, you're going to get killed by Fish too.
Eagles fan?
Who?
Are you an Eagles fan?
Right now, bro, I'm a Penn State fan. Just Penn State. I'm just a Penn State fan. We're getting close, you know what I mean, to the NFL and such.
Did you how about this? Did you enjoy the Super Bowl?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Super Bowl. My cousin Brian Dawkins obviously represented the Eagles for a long time. So, you know, and my family's rich history in Philadelphia. So, you know, it's trying to throw some support when Philadelphia's playing and such like that.
You got a lot of, you know, tradition and history and name recognition throughout your family. Mm-hmm. What's it been like relying on some of your relatives that, you know, Karl-Anthony Towns, Brian Dawkins? Mm-hmm. What type of advice do they give you?
Oh, man, you did some research on me. Yeah. To be honest with you, it's kind of a mission that I took for myself. I try not to lean on those guys, because we just have such separate journeys. I think also those guys were much more athletic than me from a younger age. It took me a little longer to develop. But we're just so different. So maybe from time to time we'll just check in, but it's really just from a family perspective, from an athlete and from, you know, just like a development perspective. I try to just, run my own race and try to solve this stuff myself, to be honest with you.
Go ahead.
You said, you know, obviously you're focused on Penn State, but when you do watch NFL, who are some of the guys you watch to maybe like pick up things or maybe model your game after, somebody you admire?
My favorite center to watch right now is Eric McCoy. I think we have a similar play style, if people don't know, of a center for the Saints. He's great in outside zone, which I think is one of my strengths, getting lateral speed and then ripping his defender up vertical with his backside hand. I think it's elite play. I think he gets real great depth in his pass sets, and he cleans color quite often. And I have pretty long arms, I would say abnormally for a center, and so does he. And I watch a lot of his tape. Obviously, there's guys like Creed Humphrey, and you know, I have some Brian Allen tape loaded up and stuff like that. But that Eric McCoy is my guy that I like to watch a lot.
All right, Penn State needs blank to accomplish its goals this season.
Penn State needs a Waffle House and State College to accomplish the goals this season.
Hey, you hear that?
Right there. Make it happen.
Penn State needs to trust their process and go 1-0 to get where we need to go. We got where we got to before because of our fundamentals and our process. Why change it? Obviously, there's things that we look at last season and things we need to change and improve and such like that. But the plan, the process is already in place. We just need to follow it, be authentic and true to ourselves, and continue to roll.
He is Nick Dawkins, offensive lineman for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Nick, thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the Cover 3 podcast. Best of luck this season.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.